So I'm gonna get us started. It's 6 o'clock, so
We're on the clock.
we're gonna roll. So this is we will begin our Board of Appeals meeting for the City of Holland. We are regular citizens of Holland who volunteered and have been appointed by City Council to consider applications to the Zoning, Housing, Construction Board of Appeals and for accommodations for persons with disabilities. We will interpret each application as it relates to the city ordinances. We will not rezone or take any action that could be considered rezoning. And we only have 4 members here tonight, so that is considered our quorum. So all of our votes will have to be unanimous tonight. So we don't have anybody in the audience here tonight, so I don't have anybody to call forward. But we do need to go through the agenda. I'm sorry? Okay.
You're good.
But when your application is called, we do ask that you would come to the microphone, state your name and address. We will hear applicants first, then anyone supporting the application, followed by anyone opposing it during a public hearing. After that public hearing is closed, there will be no other opportunity for further public comment related to the application. Our decisions are final and effective on the day that they are made, and applicants may appeal decisions to circuit court in accordance with state law. You can also call Neighborhood Services Department tomorrow morning to learn the results. You don't have to stick around for our deliberations. These meetings are streamed online live and recorded and available on the city's YouTube channel. So, if there's no other objections with our current agenda as it is, will our clerk please read our first item?
Yes, the first item on the agenda is 1055 and 1033 Lincoln Avenue, 23.02Z. Ryan Halder, on behalf of prospective developer Come and Go LC, is requesting a variance or interpretation to reduce the setback for a drive aisle between the properties at 1055 Lincoln Avenue and 1033 Lincoln Avenue. The proposed drive aisle would have a 0-foot setback from the property line and a 5-foot setback from a newly proposed zone district line. The ordinance requires a 5 to 10-foot setback from the side property line of residential properties. The Board of Appeals can approve this request if certain conditions are found to exist. This application is being postponed to the April 27 meeting. I corresponded with the applicant via email, and they agreed to the postponement of the application so we can renotice it.
Okay.
So we'll be sending out new public notices to all of the neighbors. We're gonna add some language. There was a Board of Appeals decision in 2021 about the size of the parcel at 1055 Lincoln Avenue, and we think that information needs to be publicly noticed as part of this application because they are effectively reducing the size of the property available to the mobile home park with this request. So we will bring this back to the board, and the applicant is aware at the April 27 meeting.
So effectively, we're not tabling, we're not taking any action whatsoever. It is just straight up being postponed.
That's correct.
Okay. So we'll move to our next item on the agenda.
So the next item on the agenda is 623 Lugers Road, application number 23.03Z. Gary Evans is requesting a special exception to construct an addition to his home located at 623 Lugers Road. The proposed single-story addition would be set back 10 feet from the south property line along the existing building line where a 20-foot setback is required. The Board of Appeals can approve this request if certain conditions are found to exist. 39-2.05, 39-12.12D3.
Okay. All right, thank you. And do we have anybody in our audience who would represent 623 Lugers Road? please, we ask that you, perfect timing. Yeah, absolutely perfect timing. Please step forward and come to the podium. Please, we ask that you state your name and address.
My name is Gary Evans, 623 Ludgers Road.
Excellent. If you wouldn't mind just walking us through real quick, I mean, you did submit a pretty nice application,
I tried.
pretty complete, but if there's any additional information you'd like to cover on this.
No, I hope it's pretty self-explanatory. So that's a survey that we had done showing the lot boundaries and the existing structures. In the dotted line there, I've indicated the areas we'd like to add. We're actually removing a small portion. It's currently kind of a lean-to on the back of the house that we would remove to build this new structure onto the back of the existing house. So the reason I'm here tonight is you can see 26th Street is actually quite close. Well, the property line is quite close on that side. It's a little over 10 feet right there. I believe the code requirement is 20 feet normally. So I'm applying for the special exception. You can go to the next slide. Maybe we can just talk about the surrounding area. So here's an aerial view from Google Maps. On my property is the one highlighted in blue, and you can see that I'm on a corner lot there, a corner of Ludgers and 26th. And you can see that my neighbor to the north and also the neighbor to the south have houses with similar encroachments to the property line. It's an older neighborhood. One of the things we have working in our favor is that the city's the amount of space the city has taken for the street is actually much larger than the physical street. 26 is a very low traffic at that point. I don't think there's even a center line in the street. So in terms of the visual perception, when you come down the street, it doesn't feel like these properties are very close to the street because they may be close to lot lines, but they're actually not close to the driving portion, the asphalt portion. I think we're 20 to 30 feet from our house to where the edge of the pavement is. So I just put some Google Street Views kind of showing the surrounding properties, what's already existing there, because I think one of the criteria for the special exception was not to be a detriment to the neighborhood, and we're, of course, trying to respect that.
Any questions from our board members with our applicant? All right. Thank you very much.
While the chairperson, while the applicant is at the podium, do
Sure.
you want to ask any of the questions on the fact-finding sheet, just to clarify?
So
Or does any member of the
I can
board
walk
want
through
to do
that. Yeah, that's fine.
Sure.
So the addition that you're doing is going to be along and within the existing line. Currently, the house does not meet the setback.
That is correct,
But
yes.
you're extending it along and within that existing.
Yes, and in fact, the house has a protruding portion on the dining room on the south side there, and we're extending along the main body of the house, not along the greatest extent to the south. So we're actually well within the existing boundaries of the structure.
And the use of the building is conforming to the zone district?
Correct, single-family residential.
And the encroachment, as you've shown in your photos, you believe it's in character with the existing neighborhood?
I do.
Okay. And will the addition to the home along the side property be detrimental to the adjoining property or to the neighborhood?
No, and that's one of the things I checked. The zoning does require certain setbacks for backyard and side yard. So we do have a property to the north of us and also to the east of us, and we preserve the required spacing to all those properties with room to spare.
Okay. I believe that covers it. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
All right, this time I'll open a public hearing and ask anybody who wishes to speak in favor of this applicant, go ahead and step forward, state your name and address. If there's anybody who wishes to speak against, in opposition of this, likewise, come forward, step to the podium, name and address. Not seeing anybody coming to the podium in favor or in opposition.
In favor?
If your name and address, please.
My name is Jim Vanderby of 603 Ludgers, so I'm 2 doors to the north,
Okay.
okay? And I have done some similar improvements to my property, actually. Almost everybody in the neighborhood has. He's about the last one, too. So I'm just here to speak in approval that he should be able to do what he wants to do. It will not infringe on any neighbor. So that's about all I had to say.
Thank you very much. We appreciate
Okay.
that. And once again, anybody wishes to speak against? Not seeing anybody. I will close the public hearing, and I will look for a motion from my fellow board members.
Does anyone have any further questions?
Any other discussion?
Then I motion to approve the
Second.
special exception.
I
We-
second that.
We have a motion, we have support, and now we're looking for findings of fact.
We kind of already went through those with the applicant themselves. Would the addition of the house be along within the existing side setback line of the existing building? And it will, as shown in the diagram provided. The use of the building is conforming for this particular zone district, single-family residential. The encroachment is in character with the rest of the existing neighborhood. And the addition to the home along the side property line will not be detrimental to adjoining property of the neighborhood. I might just add the condition that, of course, that all required permits must be obtained before beginning construction.
Thank you.
I would just, the board member who seconded the motion, would they, do they second the amended motion to, as stated?
With the findings of
With,
fact.
with the, and also all permits to be
I
obtained?
second that amended motion.
Thank you.
All right, we have a motion, we have a support, we have a amended motion and support of the amended motion. And any other discussion? All right, then I think we'll look for a vote. Go ahead.
The motion is to approve the application. Fusak,
Yes.
Shay,
Yes.
Bauer,
Yes.
Sorek.
Yes, that makes that unanimous. Thank you. All right, next item on the agenda tonight is to review some changes to our Board of Appeals rules and regulations. In the packet that was published online is a red line of some proposed rules and regulations, and we do need to take action on this. I would personally ask one change myself before I ask my fellow board members, is that we remove anything that might be construed as a gender in there. There's a couple of he's and she's. And if we could just replace those with a they or their or something along those lines to make it gender neutral. I think we discussed a couple of those items in Article 5. I counted 3 spots. There might be a couple others. I mean, other than, the changes that were redlined, I would just ask for a couple of those. Other than that, I didn't have any other changes. Any other discussion from our board? Any other changes?
Not here.
All right, I'll seek a motion to approve or deny these amended changes.
Motion to approve with the amended changes.
I would second that.
We have motion, we have support. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed, same sign? Okay, the Board of Appeals rules and regulations have been revised. Next item is our master plan update. Again, in our packet, we have a flyer. If anybody's interested to review the master plan, the City of Holland is updating it, and they may reach out to Steve Peterson. His email is there, s.peterson@cityofholland.com, or his phone number, 616-355-1300. There is a QR code to scan if they want to take a part of that survey. And there will be more details coming forward related to this, but we wanted to get
Mr. Chair,
the
I'm
word
gonna
out.
interrupt
Yes.
you real quick.
Absolutely.
As you read off that phone number, it made me realize there's a typo in the number.
Oops.
So the correct phone number is 616-355-1330.
1330.
So we will make sure that gets updated in our materials.
So here we are at the Board of Appeals proofreading. All right, So this is on our agenda to get the word out. There's no action for us to take on this. So we are getting the word out and proofreading the posting. So next item on our agenda is the approval of minutes from our January 26th, 2023 meeting.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. We
I second that.
support. Motion to approve by Fusak, support. Now, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? None. The minutes are approved. Our next meeting date is Thursday, April 27, 2023. We already know we have one item on there for 1055 and 1033 Lincoln. So we will be here for that. And one last item for an adjournment. You said you were taking them all, Brad.
Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion.
I would second that.
We have support. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you.